The email hit Evan Cole's phone at 6:12 in the morning. Final notice. Past due. He stared at it in the dim kitchen while the refrigerator rattled like it was tired of trying. On the table sat a lunch bag with 2 slices of bread and a thin smear of peanut butter. He was already dressed for the warehouse, boots laced, hoodie faded, jacket too light for February. His phone buzzed again. A text from Marissa. Just 2 words. Don't call. Evan's thumb hovered over the screen. He wanted to type a whole life into one message. I'm trying. I'm scared. Please don't do this to Liam. Instead, he locked the phone and swallowed the taste of metal in his mouth. From the hallway, Liam's voice came small and sleepy. Dad, are you going? Yeah, Evan said, forcing steadiness. Just tying my shoes. Liam stepped into the doorway, 8 years old and already good at reading faces. Are we still going to Mom's after school? Evan nodded. That's the plan. Marissa hadn't spoken to him in weeks. Not really. When she left, she didn't scream. She simply stopped believing in his promises, in the next paycheck, in the idea that love could survive on hope and apologies. Evan kissed Liam's forehead, grabbed the lunch bag, and drove to work with the heater off to save gas. Every red light felt like a bill waiting to happen. At the warehouse, the air smelled like cardboard and oil. Evan clocked in and went straight to unloads. Ron, his supervisor, watched him like he enjoyed watching things bend. Cole, Ron called, loud enough for people to hear. You're on the heavy stuff again. Guess you like it. A few guys laughed, the easy kind that says, at least it's not me. Evan said nothing. He lifted and stacked until his shoulders burned. He kept his head down because pride didn't pay rent. Mid-morning, Ron tossed a clipboard at him. Inventory's wrong. Fix it. Evan looked at the numbers. This isn't my section. Ron's smile didn't move. Today it is. Evan did it anyway. He always did. Because the last time he pushed back, Ron cut his hours for 2 weeks and called it learning attitude. Near lunch, Evan's phone buzzed. Unknown number. He stepped outside behind the building where the wind could swallow his voice. Hello? A woman spoke carefully. Is this Evan Cole? I'm calling from Family Services. We need to schedule a home visit. Evan's stomach dropped. Why? We received a report concerning your son. I can't discuss details over the phone, but we must assess. Evan's mind flashed through everything he couldn't hide. The empty pantry near the end of the week, the heater that worked when it wanted, the shoes Liam had outgrown. Evan skipped meals so his son wouldn't. Liam is safe, Evan said, voice tight. He's loved. We'll contact you with a date, she said, not unkindly, and ended the call. When Evan went back inside, Ron was waiting by the time clock. You disappearing now? Ron asked. If you can't keep up, I'll replace you. Evan swallowed the anger and nodded. Nodding was cheaper than arguing. Later, Tyler, a younger worker, shoulder-checked him by the loading bay and grinned. Didn't see you there. Evan stepped aside. Conflict was a luxury he couldn't afford. At 4:47, Evan checked his bank app in the parking lot. His paycheck landed, and for half a second, relief warmed him. Then the withdrawals hit like punches. Rent, electric, minimum payments, another minimum payment. The balance that remained was so small it looked like a typo. His phone rang immediately after. The landlord. Evan didn't answer. He couldn't survive another voice telling him what he already knew. When he picked Liam up from school, the boy climbed in holding a paper. Field trip form, Liam said, trying to sound casual but failing. Everyone's going. Evan read it. Museum. Lunch included. $25 due Friday. Liam watched his face, waiting for the yes. Evan's mouth opened. Nothing came out. Dad, Liam whispered, is it okay? It's okay, Evan lied gently. We'll see. At home, they ate canned soup. Liam talked about classmates, about a kid with a new backpack, about how someone's dad always picked them up in a nice truck. Evan listened, smiled, and felt like he was shrinking inside his own skin. When Liam went to bed, Evan folded laundry in the dark to avoid turning on extra lights. He found a note from school tucked in Liam's folder. Please ensure Liam has breakfast. He has mentioned being hungry. Evan stared at the paper until his eyes burned. Liam had never complained to him. Liam had never asked for more than Evan could give. He'd simply told the truth to someone else, and now the truth had teeth. Evan checked the mailbox and found an envelope taped shut with red ink across the front. Notice of eviction. He stood in the hallway holding it, hearing the warehouse laughter in his head, hearing the woman's calm voice, feeling the floor tilt beneath him. He didn't sleep. He stared at the ceiling while one question hammered harder than the rest. Who reported him, and why now? Before sunrise, Evan called family services again, speaking low so he wouldn't wake Liam. The receptionist repeated the same line like it was memorized. A home visit will be conducted this week. Please be cooperative. Cooperative. As if he'd ever been anything else. At the warehouse, Ron made sure everyone could see Evan's work. "Unload that shipment alone," Ron said. "You're so quiet. You won't miss having help." Tyler, accidentally, dropped a box. Packing peanuts spilled everywhere. He watched Evan kneel to clean it like he was waiting for a show. Evan didn't give him one. That night, Evan used his last clean shirt to patch a hole in Liam's jacket. Liam watched cartoons with the volume low, like even happiness needed to be careful. Evan kept replaying the school note in his head, the one about breakfast, the one that could be twisted into something uglier. The knock came 2 days later. A woman in a navy coat introduced herself as Dana Wright from Family Services. She stepped inside, clipboard in hand, eyes trained to notice what people try to hide. The apartment felt too small, too honest. Liam appeared in the hallway, hugging his stuffed dog. Dana spoke with Evan at the kitchen table. School, food, heat. Evan answered with the truth, because lies have a way of turning into chains. Then Dana looked up. "The report says Liam comes to school hungry," she said. Evan's chest tightened. "He eats. I make sure he eats. Some mornings I'm running late, and he grabs something at school. It also says you leave him alone at night." "No," Evan said, sharper than he meant. "Never." Dana's tone stayed even. "I'm here to verify, not to punish. May I speak with Liam privately?" Evan wanted to refuse on instinct. Instead, he nodded, because fear was already eating him alive. Dana sat with Liam in the living room, asking simple questions. Liam answered quietly, glancing at Evan like he was checking if the ground was still there. When Dana finished, she stood and offered a small, tired smile. "He seems safe with you," she said. "I'll mark this as no immediate danger. But I will follow up. You need support, Mr. Cole. Poverty isn't neglect, but it can look like it from the outside." After she left, Liam looked up at Evan with wet eyes. "Did I do something wrong?" Evan knelt and took his hands. "No, you did nothing. I'm scared because I don't want anyone taking you away." Liam held on to him, like he understood more than an 8-year-old should. The next day, Ron called Evan into the office and shut the door. "I heard you had a visitor," Ron said, smiling like he'd been waiting. Evan froze. "What are you talking about?" Ron leaned back. "People talk, and you look unstable. That's bad for business." Something clicked into place so cleanly it felt cold. The timing, the pressure, the little humiliations designed to make him snap. "You did it," Evan said, voice low. "You reported me." Ron's smile twitched. "Careful." "Why?" Evan asked, and hated that his voice shook. Ron shrugged. "Because you're always here, always early, always doing the work no one wants. Makes the rest of us look lazy. Makes me look like I can't control my team. I made a call, said I was concerned, that's all." Evan's hands clenched. One outburst could cost him his son. Ron knew that. That was the point. Evan walked out without another word, but his mind was clear for the first time in months. That night, after Liam fell asleep, he opened an old laptop and applied for every job he could find, even ones he felt underqualified for. 2 days later, his phone rang during lunch. "This is Mr. Alvarez from Lincoln Middle School," a man said. "Facilities. We received your application. I'd like to offer you the position. Full benefits. Stable schedule." Evan sat still, afraid to breathe. "Why me?" "A reference mentioned you," Mr. Alvarez said. "Said you covered shifts for him years ago when his wife was sick. Said you never told anyone. We want people who don't need applause to do the right thing. And our district has a fund for student programs. Field trips, supplies. Liam can be covered." Evan ended the call and felt something unfamiliar rise in his chest. Not hope, something sturdier. That evening, he handed Ron a resignation letter. Ron scoffed. "Good luck. Evan met his eyes calmly. I already have it. On Friday, Evan placed an envelope in Liam's backpack with the field trip money inside. Liam opened it at the table and stared like it was magic. "We can go?" Liam asked. Evan nodded, and this time the smile reached his bones. "You can go." Liam hugged him hard, and Evan held him like the world depended on it. Later, Evan understood the lesson he'd been too tired to see. Some people try to crush quiet strength because it reminds them of their own weakness. But quiet strength doesn't need permission to survive. It just keeps showing up until life finally makes room for it. As he turned off the light, Evan listened to Liam breathing in the next room and finally believed one simple thing. A good father isn't the one with the most, but the one who refuses to stop fighting for love.